free, and enjoy more of what the world has to offer in this action one, because this is where most human beings screw the pooch.
So a little one-person trampoline, very
I screen shared it. Like, there's no excuse. Like, phone numbers are just out there. You just got to pick up the phone, smile, and dial. So, good morning, and welcome back to another episode of the Talk to Taryn Morning Show, where we go over tips, tricks, ideas, and exercises to help make you the absolute best entrepreneur you can be, not only for yourself, but for the people you love and care about most. Personal development is what we're all about here, trying to get your morning started right so you can show up, be the best possible version of yourself, and kick butt and achieve what you want to. For today, this morning, we're going to be talking about goal setting and 3 goal setting tools. You probably have already heard these, and it's really starting to dawn on me that, it's not always that I need new information, but that I need confirmation on the things that I do know, the things that I am working on, and maybe I just need to slightly pivot. Maybe I just need to take this at a little bit of an angle, or maybe I just need to change my perspective on how I'm viewing this. It's insane how I was watching this podcast video on YouTube, and they were just talking about how your perception follows what you see visually. So what you see visually changes literally your perception. So maybe we need to change up how we view our goals, or maybe we need to change the setting of where we set our goals, or maybe we need to, I think we can do some pondering. I like to do a lot of reflection on Fridays. I like to think about what went over the week. So I figured goal setting would be an awesome topic to dive into. So we're going to go over 3 tools. It's essentially like 2 and a bonus, because one's kind of just an add-on to the other. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and we're going to chop up onto here on the board here in just a minute. Achievable. Okay, I'm just making sure that I have the right word. Okay. Yeah, for our first acronym. So good morning. Thanks for tuning in with us this morning. So I want to get onto the banner. Number 1, the first tool is ABC goals. ABC goals. Have that banner up there. ABC goals. Good morning. Thanks for tuning in with us this morning. So ABC goals, this represents, let's get it on the board. I'm probably okay. So we have our first one. We have A, B, C goals. ABC, the A in ABC goals stands for achievable. And as we go through the different tools, make sure that you're thinking in your own mind, you're like, oh, wow, that is pretty relatable. That makes total sense. So the first A is achievable, making sure that our goal is achievable. Achievable. The B for ABC stands for believable. And the C stands for committed. Committed. Okay. So when we want to ask ourselves in goal setting, first one, ABC, this one's a little more broad than the other one, but sometimes broad's good. Sometimes broad works in our favor. And when it comes to setting the goal, for example, one of my goals is to interview 100 people on this morning show. And I'm trying to think, drop my chalk, trying to think, okay, Is that achievable? Could I possibly achieve interviewing 100 people on this morning show? I think yes. So it's not like too daunting. It's like, damn, that's going to take me probably a year at least, but it's very believable. Moving into believable. So asking yourself, do you really believe that you will achieve this? Is that these questions seem so obvious, but our actions and understanding that we act off of our emotions can sometimes get this tripped up. And that's why it's keeping it so simple is sometimes the secret sauce. It doesn't always need to be this incredible answer, but you do need to answer yes to, do you believe that you can do that? Do you genuinely believe that you can lose the 10 pounds? Do you genuinely believe that you can run the 5 miles? Do you genuinely believe that you can run the 5K? Do you genuinely believe that you can do something for your family this week? Do you genuinely? You got to make sure that you believe in it and that you want to do it. And that leads us into our last one, committed. Just because you tell your friend or something like that, usually this is something that happened to me all the time in the past. I'd be getting drunk with my buddies and they say, oh yeah, I'm working on this. Oh yeah, I'm doing that. But were we really actually committed to the goal? There was a number of things that I would talk about, but I definitely wasn't actually committed to this. And commitment's going to be by far the biggest and the hardest one. Because we can feel good of just kind of forming the goal in our head. And we're like, okay, yeah, I could achieve that. Oh yeah, I believe in that. But like, are you actually committed? And sometimes it's very helpful to have very concrete steps. I'm just going to put steps, plan over here for a second. Steps and plan. So you want to really be looking out for steps and plan. Like, what is the first step to getting this done? This is something I never really took the time to do. And thinking very small, not to the point to where, and we'll get into like easy, hard, or moderate goals here in a second, but you do want to have some type of plan moving forward and then not being super surprised. So it's like, okay, when, where, what am I going to do? How am I going to go about it? Am I going to go for that one little bit of a run today? Am I going to make that one call that I'm reaching out to people today? What is it that you are going to set and you are going to commit to doing today? I wanted to come check in on this Friday. This is usually a good day to be honest with ourselves. How the hell did the week go? And then what can I do today? What is one small step or plan? But this is the ABC method: achievable, believable, and committed. So next time you're setting your goals, kind of write this out and be like, can I achieve that realistically? Is this actually believable to me? And then am I truly committed by just taking one action step towards that and kind of cement that we're working towards that? Okay. We're going to do the other goal thing on here on the board. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let me pull up a doc this morning. Good morning. Good morning. I hope everyone's having a fantastic morning. We're going to be setting some goals and hopefully absolutely crushing them. SMART goals. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and present my screen. Kick me off of the screen. SMART goals. SMART goals. So SMART goals, the S stands for, and these are acronym goals today that we're going over through. The letter S stands for specific. Specific. Our goals need to be specific. Like, do I want to read one book? Do I want to run 1 mile? Do I want to eat 2,000 calories. Do I want to? The more specific, the better. So yeah, I guess we could give some examples. And that would be like 1 mile run. That would be one chapter in a book. Specific. The more specific, the better. So the M stands for measurable. How will you measure this? Could you measure it on a smartwatch or phone? You're running or whatever, smartwatch or phone. Do you have some type of app that you like to use to measure your goals? Do you have a notebook or a planner? Something to be able to measure it, because what we can measure, we can improve and we can kind of see into it. It's no wonder why these giant, massive companies are so into measuring things and making sure, because it's really the only way to keep track. It's making sure that we're either on pace or we're not. And so being able to measure kind of cuts the whole factor of running around with a chicken with your head cut off. So, and then the next is attainable. A is attainable. Attainable. And attainable, I just relate it to kind of the same thing as in the ABC goals. Like, okay, is it achievable? Do I believe I can do this? So the next, the R is for realistic. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for tuning in with us this morning. We're going over a few different types of goal settings, things, just reviews, some tools that you can use and try and apply. And the R in SMART goals is realistic. Realistic. Is this realistic for our resources? Our abilities matching our resources. And a lot of times it seems like people are way too hard on themselves. They're like, oh, I don't have anything available to me. It's like, if you have a smartphone, you have a supercomputer available to you at all times. Or you can go to any local library and rent any book for free. And you can use a computer for up to 4 hours for free. So there's really, if you live in any type of town with any type of infrastructure at all, there's really not an excuse for that. But nonetheless, realistic for R. And then T is for time bound. I'm a big fan of deadlines. It just kind of holding ourselves accountable to having some type of deadline. It always makes me think back to when I was in school the night before when something was due, or you can think of any type of deadlines that you have going on. Like, you can see that having things be time bound can just hold more accountability to taking action and be committed, like we're talking about in the ABC for goals. But maybe that's one thing, that a challenge that we have for today. We're trying to think for ourselves, what is a deadline for a goal that I could set today? And when would I like to accomplish it? So these are the SMART goals. This is the SMART goal section. I need to put up a new banner for my video editor. SMART goals. This was the SMART goal section. And now we're going to create for the last one, it's just an add-on to the SMART goals, and it's called SMARTer goals. So this last section is SMARTer goals, and really we're just going to add a little bit onto here. So the E in SMARTer is ethical. And I like this. It's like being able to ask ourselves, is this goal ethical? Like, does this cause help or hurt what I want to do for the world? This is a great way to be honest with yourself, and maybe you're just taking some of the pressure off by understanding, okay, if I'm ethical with what I'm doing. So if you are trying to be more fit, I argue this is a ethical goal because you're taking pressure off of the medical system by contributing to not being in the hospital, taking pressure off of the nurses, taking pressures off of the doctors, and doing this type of work. Maybe your goal is to just eat less. There's 3 million children who starve every single year. We don't talk about that a whole lot, but it's pretty sad, but it's very, very true. Lots of food gets wasted every single day here in the States. Not that there's a program that I know of that does a good job of shipping off that type of food and it's already bad, yada, yada. It's a complicated system and I don't have an answer for that. But nonetheless, it is more ethical that I would be sharing resources more so with the people who need them more than I do. So just thinking of a little bit about ethics, and maybe this can kind of coat or stroke our egos, or maybe it can just support and give us some peace of mind when we're working towards things like, oh, yeah, I am a good person. I am doing good things. It's not bad. So kind of relate that ties into the last one, rewarding. Is this goal going to be rewarding? What does this do for me? So when we can ask ourselves these type of questions, when we can kind of get this type of clarity, the SMART goals have been around for a couple decades, but they work really well. And sometimes when you take the time to do this, I would definitely, in our goal setting section of the 6-week course on creating your life map, improving your emotional intelligence, improving your energy, like we like to really go into so should my goals be easy, hard, or moderate? Should my goals be easy, hard, or moderate? It seems like it's so difficult to pin down where. I hear all the time, I got to push myself. I got to push myself until I just can't go anymore. Or the power of one. You just start with, just write one word a day. Just get started, because getting started is by far the hardest part. And honestly, I've had by a landslide the most success with moderation. Go figure. The Buddha had it right. It's always something in the middle. Always something in the middle. Moderate. That's why I set goals like 100 interviews. Because I've already done, if you ever watched my content in the past, I did like 10 of them. And then I've done a couple recently. I've already done like 12. So I've done 12. And it's like, what would be the next year marker that would push me? But I'm already in double digits. So I feel comfortable with that stretching me, but that's not like 1,000. So when I set the goal for 1,000 morning show episodes, I had done like 150 at that point or something. Somewhere around that is when I decided on the goal. So it's like, okay, I'm kind of 10xing. Not 100,000x. So that's what I used to do. Is I would think, okay, I haven't even made $100,000 in this company, but I'm going to set my goals to make $5 million. And I think this is really common with a lot of younger people, more so with older people. But being careful that we're not stretching ourselves out too far. We're creating something that is so far away that it's really, really tough to consistently motivate ourselves. There's like very few individuals on the planet who can just absolutely go ham on a project for decades without little reward along the way. A few people that come to mind, maybe Jeff Bezos, that company was losing money for decades. Elon Musk, his companies were up and down like crazy. I mean, these are superhumans who are just willing to grind out 200-hour work weeks, which I am not willing to do. I'm not willing to do that. But what I am willing to do is to be really consistent, is I'm really willing to do the measurements and understand like, okay, I'm going to make this my goal specific. I'm going to make them measurable. I'm going to make them attainable, realistic, time bound, ethical, and rewarding. And then I'm going to understand that moderate, being somewhere in the middle, is good. So that's why I'm setting things for the 10x range. That's why I like the 10x range. So maybe you're thinking of your next big goal and go ahead and 10x what you're already doing. We just want to make sure that there's some type of evidence that supports this is what you want to do. Finding evidence that this is what I truly want to achieve. We need some type of confirmation. It's like, what's really going on here? What is the evidence that I can find? I found evidence in morning shows that I'd already done. I'd found evidence in like interviews that I had already done. That kind of helped me with my goals. So maybe maybe it is hard for us right now to do something what others would consider easy, and that's okay. But this is why it's always done on an individual basis. And that's why I like to do one-on-one coaching, because you are not the other person. The other person's not you. And all of these bold, because this is so broad. It's like, oh, be realistic. It's like, what the hell does that mean for you? And that's why I'm always a big proponent of one-on-one coaching. So that's all I had for goals for today. I'm going to go ahead and kick this off the screen. But we have our ABCs, we have our SMART goals, we have our smarter goals. Thinking about, if you have any questions on that, don't hesitate to reach out. Other than that, I did want to, actually, I am going to plug this. I need to share my screen. Me and my social media video editor guy, we are trying to do more focus on my YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel already, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and copy the link and throw it here in the comments. So if you don't mind, if you haven't already subscribed to the YouTube channel, please go over there and subscribe and support the channel. We're having a bunch of other crushing content coming out. As you can see, we're starting to really improve our updates and our thumbnails and our shorts. Oh, this one did pretty well. It had over 300 views. But that's fun. We're having a good time and we're continuing to improve that. So if you could go over to the YouTube channel and give it some support. All righty, friends. I hope you can think about goals that you possibly might want to set over the weekend. I have another coaching session over the weekend and we're going to be talking about some goals. So I'm excited about that. Whenever I'm working with people on their goals, it always motivates me to write out in my journal. Maybe I'm thinking about how I can improve my own goals, writing out some ideas, maybe some small tactics and things that I can do and apply for myself. But other than that, and also I'll be live here. I'm actually joining with one of my friends who edits my videos and helps me with social media management. Lay Martels. We'll be going live here tonight at 6 p.m. And that'll be a lot more casual, just talking about life in general and how the week went and things that we're trying to do and improve. So I hope that can be a little more relatable and not so much of like, I am a robot, because I just come on here and chant and rave for half an hour every single morning. But either way, lots to do, lots going on. Hopefully you're working on your own stuff. Continue to take it. I hope start your morning off right, start your day off right. Use that momentum to have a rock star day, everyone. Have an incredible day. Look out for that live video coming out at 6 p.m. tonight. Other than that, you'll probably see me again live Monday morning, where we go live every single weekday morning at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time to talk about tips, tricks, and ideas to help you become the best entrepreneur you can be. Thanks so much, friends. Have an amazing, fun-filled Friday. Cheers to you all. Set some goals and go out and crush them. Thanks so much. See you next time. See you later today.